So what I've done now, I've painted it all underneath the deck. It's nice and hammer-rated now, so that should protect that quite well. I've just got to probably just lift the flap up, but to paint the bit I couldn't sort of get down there. But I can probably do that when it's on back on the actual mower, so not too worried about that. The other side I haven't done yet. Might do that before it goes back on. Might not, might do it after it's on, but it would be easier to do it before it goes back on, so that's the way I'll probably go. I'm tempted now just to sort of give it a little bit of a flat down and just go over with some silver just to spray the whole lot on, because the stickers and that on there aren't very good, so I'm not really worried about them staying on there or not. It's got a bit fumy now with the paint in here actually, but as you can see, that's where the repair was. About there you can hardly see where the repair was now. So yeah, it's a decent strong deck. I'm working on this deck for the UM2460. I'm only just going to give it a light sand off. I'm not going to do anything too brilliant. It'll probably come through again, but at least tidy it up initially and protect it a little bit. I could go the whole hog and have it sandblasted and all that, but on this particular machine I'm not going to. It looks a little bit battered about anyway, so as long as it's mechanically alright and works, and the deck hasn't got holes in it, which it hasn't now, because I repaired that bit there, it'll be good enough. But I'm just to smarten up slightly, I'm just gonna go over with probably some silver wheel spray, put a bit of undercoat on it first. But I was just gonna say, I thought I'd done with the welding, but I'm pretty sure there's a bit of a crack developed around there which I hadn't noticed. So what I'm gonna do is have to get the welder out tomorrow and just put a little bead of weld around there, because I don't want that starting to crack again when I'm using it. So while it's all off, I'll get that done. I've nearly actually gone over it as good as I'm going to actually. I've got to do there a little bit more. I took the flap off now. Should have done that before I painted the hammer right, but it doesn't matter because I can actually finish this and then put it back on afterwards. So that's not really a problem. So I'll get this, well, I won't be painting it tonight now. I might be able to get some of it in undercoat, apart from that bit I've got to do a little bit of welding on. It's annoying because I've got to get the welder out to probably weld 2 inches, so but so be it, at least while it's off. That's right underneath the sort of frame of the machine along there, so there's no way you can sort of fix it on there, so get it done now. But it will burn for a little bit of the hammer art underneath as well. But yeah, I just noticed it was like, it was sort of a bit rusty, and then when I did it, I think that, yeah, it feels like a crack to me. It's got to be fixed, so I'll do that. I just got to go around there. The lip where I put a bit of, just scraped the hydrostatic sticker off it because it was all bits missing anyway. But I'll put a bit of seam seal around there, that'll be good enough. Like I said, this isn't going to be a pristine machine, but it's going to be pretty good because I reckon it's going to work alright. So I'll just smarten up a bit, like I said. Hiya, now I had the welder out. Not sure whether I mentioned in the last video, but there was a little crack there as well. I've welded that up, and I've welded that up around there. I'll grind that just to neaten up a little bit, but that's not too bad. Palaver getting the welder out from where it's stored and everything to do it, but it's done now. I'm going to take the welder up to my dad's because probably the next bit of welding I'll do up there. But how long for the day where I can have a shed with the stuff all set out properly? It may happen. I got sort of distant plans for that, but not at the moment. So I'm just going to grind that down and neaten up. This is sort of hidden anyway under there, but I'll lower them welds a bit and get that a bit neater, and then I can gradually start to get this deck completed then. And well, I've got then put 2 bits sort of ground down reasonably now. Like I said, you hardly see them anyway. That one you definitely won't see because it'll be underneath the flap, so that one will stay as it is. That one I should just smear a little bit of fill around there just to sort of take the edge off a little bit, just for cosmetic reasons. And then this deck can sort of gradually be finished then. It's annoying I had to find them, but I'm sure there was a crack, or going to be a crack very soon around there. And I don't want that happening, because if you catch a deck or something like, it's just going to rip it. So that's done now. I've got to try and find where I put my filler now. I'll whack a bit of that in. I've got some other stuff to do, so I'll get back on this evening or tomorrow. Hi, I'm back on the deck for the Honda UM2460 rough cut mower. This isn't a pristine job or anything. All I wanted to do is just give it a coat of Hammerite smooth in silver, and actually it's come out okay. It's a really cold night outside tonight. It's well below freezing, and I think it's come up alright. It's still got the dents and that in it, and I didn't really worry too much about my welds. I put a bit of seam seal around there, but the state it was in to begin with, I don't think it's come up too bad, so that would be good enough. I wasn't even going to paint it, but just seeing the heater, having put the fan heater on and this one just to get it sort of a bit sort of warm in here. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave that to sort of tack off a little bit. Hammerite I think is quite good anyway. I think you can sort of spray it and it will dry okay, you know. The cold won't affect it like it does some paints, but still it's nice to have a bit of warmth around it, and probably freezing conditions are not ideal, but it's well above freezing in the shed now. The radiator's getting quite warm. That fan heat's been on probably a quarter of an hour now, so I'll leave it on while I have my dinner, and then I'll pop back out here and probably just leave it for the night. Yeah, so I'll show you when I've sort of got it dry and it's ready to go back on. Hi again, I'm working on the Honda UM2460. I'm just doing the sort of last few jobs on this now. I've got all the deck back on, and everything's almost sort of done on this. So I've got my next step is to fit the cup bit back on there that holds the blade. There it is. I'll give it a wire brush down and a paint up, and that's all good to put back on now. So that's the first job, to get that back on. And I've sharpened the blade. The blade's quite worn, but it was a bit of a job to get an edge back on it because it was so worn, but I've got an edge back on it. It's not too bad. That should be okay. I'll give it a little paint up as well. See, there's an edge on there. There's nothing, it more or less looked like the other side before I started. So I didn't really want to go to the cost of buying a new blade for it. So if it runs true and that, when it's on then, doesn't shake or anything, which I don't think it will, it sort of look like it's worn sort of quite evenly. That will do the job. So yeah, just a few bolts there, and then we're sort of done this. Yep, so I'm just I've already put a little bit of grease on there, but the little keyway straight down the bottom in there, you can probably just see it just right down in there. That should probably slip into place okay. Just put a little bit more. I had already done that, but if I could just spin this around and find this location. Getting out, I can feel it in there now. So that should pull on okay. What I'm going to do first is actually wind that one in. I think that's the one for it. What's actually in that? I'm not 100% sure this is the right bolt. Yeah, I think I found the correct bolt now, so that's sort of in line. I'll just tap it a bit to get it on, which is almost on now actually. So I haven't really got to wind that in because I can just put the blade in now just to make sure that's the right way around. That's okay. I think actually, yeah, that one will go in first. Should know. I just put that bolt in, and there was some mud stuck in the shaft, so I had to clean that out. Just squared it with some WD-40, so that's in there, more or less tight. I can really hold it. I can really hold it well when the blade's in, and you can tighten that after the blade's in because the hole will allow you to do that. We'll fit through there. So now it's a matter of taking them off. They've been oiled up, but I shall put a bit of WD-40 in there, and probably just a bit along there. Ain't gonna hurt. Because I remember, I think last time when I took it off, the blade was a little bit tight to get off from between there. So we'll make sure that's the right way around, which it is. It's a long time from when I started working on this. I don't think the blade and that had been off for a long time. I think it's probably been stuck in a shed for years or something. So now, yeah, they're 14mm as well. As I said, yeah, that one will go in there. All right, so I'll just start that one so it starts to go up, and then same the other side. Could use an impact on these if you wanted to, just to speed things up a bit. But I've got one that I tend to land up doing it like this. As you can see, that's nipping the blade up now. Actually, probably easier to take the bar off to do this bit. Off camera I will, they are pretty tight, but I will just put a slightly longer bar off them on them just to make sure they're really tight. And that's it really under there. That's pretty straightforward. So underneath is sort of practically done now. There's a few little bits like there, need a bit of hammerite. That's where I had to do that, a weld on that little crack. And there's a few little bits around the edge. I'll just probably just go over with a little bit of hammerite just to finish off under there. So we can actually call that bit under there done. All I've got to do now is that side shoot thing. I just wanted to spray that with some hammerite and get that on. And that's about all there is to it now. That's how I'm going to leave it. I'll consider that done then.